So the Festival of Football Captains are here. We have obviously got quite a few of the upgrades already in place, and there is a lot of cards, so we've definitely got to go through them. I must admit, I was kind of expecting a little bit less, and then we saw the notification of Fullback saying 50 players have been added. Now, naturally, they're obviously putting in a lot of the nations, and by the looks of it, we're going to be getting more consistent upgrades across the board. Some of them probably not needing upgrades, but then when you've got performance-based promos, I don't know how often these are actually put in place beforehand, because we look at someone like Mbappe. Does he really need another card? He's 11 million coins in this version, and he has got the finesse shot plus now instead of his quick step or his rapid, so totally different ones. You've obviously got pretty much the same stats across the board, like 1s and 2s on a couple of stats, and obviously the price tag is absolutely crazy. Now, it makes actually the 92 player of the month look a little bit cheaper, but in terms of what you want, the gold card is more than fine with Mbappe. That being said, naturally he's going to put himself in the top of the top. I don't think there's any real questions with Mbappe, and that's kind of it for him. When we do look at someone like Kane, finally another upgrade for him again, which, I mean, we're going to keep saying this. He's now managed to get an even bigger pace increase, which I think is exactly what he needed. These cards kind of suit Kane down to the ground with the low driven. As we know, it is completely broken. He did have it the whole way through his other cards, in the player of the month, obviously, which 72 pace is nice, but I'll absolutely take 81 this time round. So if you're looking for coins, head over to eldorado.gg. There is huge amounts of verified sellers on Eldorado, and there is a money back guaranteed by Trade Shield. If that's not enough, there is 24/7 live support and also plenty of reviews across websites that will definitely put your mind at ease. And as always, before you check out, make sure that you are using the code JT11 for 5% off every single order. Back to the video. And amongst that, we obviously have got pretty decent shooting, some great dribbling across the board, and the physicality is most definitely there as well. This is going to be more of an all-round Kane. Finally getting a bit more of a pace upgrade. You could then throw the Hunter on him and be absolutely fine with him. You've obviously got a 95.8 striker with this variation, hence why he is going to come in at a very, very big price. And naturally, as we do go through the list, there is always going to be players that are going to be kind of fodder more than anything, and realistically going to just be standard across the board. Obviously as well, we've got to have a lot of players go into the lower category. There is no upgrades for these from what I'm reading. This is just a slight boost on their upgrades. Some will have more than others, like we pick a random one at this. We've obviously got a silver that's gone into an 85, and yes, it's pretty decent to have that, but realistically, is there any need to have many of these players that you're not really going to touch? Half of them will come in at 10k, but there is obviously a few gems in the rough there. Like we see a bit of Tchouameni coming in, and I believe Ronaldo's down this list as well. 89 rated, will kind of go through him. But what we'll do is we'll put all of the kind of just the 11, 10k ones in. We'll get them into kind of your C and B categories, as really there's not really too much of a talking point with them. So going over the list of what we've kind of got in there already. We've got a few Bs in here which most definitely are coming in at a slightly better price than a lot of people, and you're looking at kind of like your Maratas that as an 87 is not bad. It's a solid upgrade for him from what he's come from an 81 is fantastic. But there is a reason why it's 20,000 coins. There's obviously going to be a difference without a Playstyle Plus, without a 4-star skiller, compared to like a Gyökeres now, who's quite literally like 20k himself, Isaac with a Finesse Shot Plus, even Haaland's coming in quite cheap as well, and even Wilson. 300,000 coin striker now coming in at 20 to 30,000. Doesn't mean that they kind of all these other cards suddenly become a lot better. Now, when we do look at someone like a Henderson, we've got a complete jump in a card. Going from obviously his 79 rated card, again, a massive pace increase is what we've seen with the likes of Kane. We've seen Maguire with his inform. These are what make cards that slightly bit better. Now, do I think he's 66,000? Absolutely not. No Playstyle Plus. Decent upgrade to say the least. Like a very nice stat overhaul for him. But it's because he's a fresh card. A past to present Liverpool, a nice upgrade into the Prem again, a great English card also. He's going to be worth a little bit more. But when you do compare him to the likes of a Højbjerg, if I'm going to do that, right? I don't think I'm going to get that. So if we go into here, you've got him coming in as an 85 as well. Another stunning upgrade from himself. We've got from the 82, again, another massive pace upgrade. We're going from 49 to 81. Defending's up there. Again, no playstyle plus. 85,000. It's a brand new card into the game. He will more than likely drop very, very soon, because then you look at another CDM of the likes of Alvarez. Not quite a Julian, but we do look at him again at 59. Another one. Huge pace upgrade. And you can kind of gather the theme here. They're slowly making these cards more accessible and usable. Like, I'm not saying they are totally unusable, that nobody's going to want them, but they most definitely are getting better, that you could potentially look at him now and think, well, I don't need a massive Evo for him. I can just slowly upgrade him over the time now. Whereas if we're going to compare him to like a Tchouameni, he was never going to be the pick for the Evo with such a low pace. It'd be like looking at a Casemiro now and putting him in a midfielder Evo, but you don't get a 50 pace increase to get him up there. So it is nice that they are doing these for the cards. So any sort of present, past and present teams that you can make are going to be quite good by the end of this year. And somewhere in the middle of this year as well, which I do like massively on this game. Now, obviously, they won't compare to some of the big cards that we do have in this, but they most definitely are counted in a lot of people's teams. So if we kind of then move up the list and kind of look at someone like a Pajor, we'll take another upgrade there from obviously an 88 to an 89. Another stunning card with the low driven. She had the finesse shot prior. And again, stat upgrade is pretty standard. She got a lot more passing, more so than anything, and a cheeky weak foot, which is what we actually like. Now, obviously with her, the finesse shot last year was absolutely broken, so she worked effortlessly. This year, the low driven is the one, and especially if they're not going to actually patch any of it, she has most definitely put herself into a very, very good category. But the man of the hour is obviously going to be talked about quite a considerable amount. It is CR7 after his first red card in, I think, what, like 229 appearances for Portugal, which is absolutely nuts. Definitely tempers flying with him, but he has got the low driven, naturally, like his previous card in his cornerstone that is 860. We got 1.8 mil, and to be honest, I get that they're not necessarily going to make him too crazy yet. I guarantee that he ends up as a 12th man of the team in a year again somehow, but in general, we've just seen a slight upgrade for him. It's kind of just another CR7, which I don't understand why we got him. And I understand that obviously we haven't got a Neymar anymore. Mbappe's already had multiple cards. Messi had the previous card. I just don't get why another Ronaldo in a non-performance based one as well. Like I get that he's obviously captain of Portugal, so it does make sense, but why make him the cornerstone then? Like, surely we could have waited for the 85 and then waited until we got there, rather than getting two versions of him that don't really make sense. Like, they're both same playstyle plus little bit of an upgrade, ones across the board. We don't really have any playstyle differences, no role differences. We just have an overall. So it does that's where it kind of does not make sense as much to me. Obviously CR7 at this variation, I do like him, and I think he is slightly more broken than what Messi will be. The body type of CR7 always works that little bit better. A tall, powerful striker, somebody that can force the ball through, the low driven. He's naturally going to be better than a Messi to start with. Messi's body type and how he plays is still very good, but he needs a lot more pace thrown onto it. I don't think CR7 quite needs that as much. And Kane's a perfect example. He's got two less on him compared to CR7. So it does work out pretty well for him in the future. Now, one of the keepers I've personally loved, Donnarumma. Absolutely. Why is he not a 90? I don't know. I'll ask the questions as well. He is literally the exact same rating. I mean, you could have easily put him as a 90. I really like him as one of my more favoured keepers. No playstyle. Well, I mean, actually, no playstyle plus difference. Actually, far reach. Don't know if I've really used the far reach playstyle plus. I quite like the deflector. It works enough for me. What does Courtois have? I know obviously Alisson has the rush out. We've got the cross claimer. Again, another good one. Who else has the far reach? Because I cannot remember, to be honest with you. That's a deflector. We're looking at the far reach. Who else has got it? Kane, Buffon, Kane. Okay, I mean, I've not really given too much of a go with them anyway, but Again, it's with the keepers. I mean, the keeper's a keeper at the end of the day. I feel like he should have been a 90, and he's my keeper at the moment. I've kind of been mixing between him, Alisson, and Courtois, as they are all now untradeable in the team. So realistically, my gauntlet's absolutely sorted with the back line. And talking about the back line, Virgil van Dijk has finally got himself an upgrade. Again, 90 rated, so they've not quite wanted to upgrade him too much yet. So it will always be interesting to see what this card is really all about. Again, I never thought I'd see it. A pace upgrade for Virgil van Dijk. 5 pace on a 90 rated card. 4 on the passing, 5 on the dribbling. Composure's only a 1, but a massive agility balance boost. You kind of see where we're going with this. This is making the Virgil back to what Virgil's all about. They know that that agility balance is absolutely massive. Now, the one thing that I haven't checked this year is, if we go 54-50, if we go to the previous year, what was his in 54-50? So clearly they have made the agility balance a lot more needed in this game. So that is kind of why he has just felt awful this year. Like, Virgil has been half the player that he's been. So this is most definitely a kind of amends to really make him back into himself. And I do really like the Tchouameni kind of grow here now. The only problem with it is especially if you've managed to do more, you've not looked at the team prior to doing the evolution. And granted, you probably have chose Militao. We have got a beautiful upgrade that Tchouameni can go into. We've got him as one of the favourites, or at least he was one of the favourites previously. And really, stat-wise, other than the Playstyle Plus that we'll get on this Evo, we don't get a Playstyle Plus. We are not a 4-star 4-star. We have the anticipate. We have a little bit better on the shooting, the passing, the dribbling, 2 less defending, and 2 better physicality. It's not that big of an upgrade. Now, granted, this evolution is 100,000 coins, so it's a bit of a difference to spend that much, but at the minute, we've got 4 free too. So this is where sometimes you do need to pick the Evos carefully. It will be interesting to see where this card does go in terms of a final price. We are looking at a very fresh and raw price at the moment, so we'll be interested to see where he goes. I do like him as a CDM. I think he's one of the better ones you can get, especially as a solid DM. Box to box wise, I think comes later. With a lot of the midfielders, they more than likely will suit into their role that little bit on the kind of after team of the year side. Now, one upgrade that I was very happy to see, we got Robertson. Finally, another upgrade for him. It seemed like he was just absolutely in the waters. Last year, we got an 86, and that was it. Like, this was the man that got team of the years. He got inform after inform, special cards left, right, and center, and then we got one upgrade, not even a footies. And granted, yes, you could have made the footies, but we have now basically got the same card, and this is kind of start of the game. So hopefully he does continue. We obviously love Robertson in the game. As a left back goes, we need it for them fullbacks, because fullbacks in general are just, they're like hotcakes, especially in the Prem. When you do look at them and you think, okay, well, who can I use in this? We obviously then have a few, like we have the Robinson, we have the Kirkes that can be upgraded. Lewis Skelly came as a puzzle SBC, Cucurella as an SBC, Calafiori as an SBC, Madsen as a player that you can buy, Diouf as an objective. We're finally starting to really get into them left backs and right backs, so it is good to see cards being there, and I do think he puts himself in the middle of them. I don't know if I'd quite say he goes straight into the top, but he's definitely a nice upgrade. He's got the fullback plus, which is exactly what I like, and I do think as years have gone by, he's a very good card. Like, they've really done a nice upgrade for him here. I'd quite happily go into a better quality left back, maybe between A and S. I'll be very generous for him at the moment, as I do think he will drop down in price nice and quickly, and he might be worth really just having a punt on him. Gwyn, on the other hand, is the SBC that we got for today. We did get Di Maria and Gundogan as flashbacks, but they will naturally be in other SBC videos. We got Gwyn as the first SBC that is a Festival of Foot captain. 86 rated. Solid upgrade compared to the rest. I mean, 83,000 really isn't that bad, to be honest. And I think as a right back goes, should be decent enough. But realistically, where are you linking when you've got the likes of them Bundesliga right backs to throw themselves in? So it's always that big question, really. Now, obviously, we do have Szoboszlai as well. He's got himself another upgrade coming from, obviously, his, was it a ratings reload, which, to be fair to him, he's done very well in a very sinking ship at the moment. He seems to have almost done what he's told sort of thing, but to a good level. Like, you're a central attacking midfielder, you're a centre mid, wherever you need to play, we're going to put you right back. I need you to do a job. And he did it. And I must admit, whenever it comes to a player, even a Liverpool player, they get their job done right, fair enough. And I think sometimes it can be overlooked with players, and this not really had much of an upgrade on top. Again, sometimes I do think, do they really plan these cards? And I know that these are meant to be for nations, not club, but realistically, I'm like, well, why are we getting another upgrade of the same level? Like, we've got one where what are we getting? We're getting one on the dribbling, one on the physical, one on the shooting. We're changing the dead ball for a pinged pass, which is fair enough. But that's it. Like, one extra play style. We get a couple of roll pluses there, but that's all we're getting. I just think it's a little bit sloppy with some things like that, whereas I do think they could have really either just upgraded him one if they really want to put him back in this, give him an 88. I mean, how many times are we going to see a Szoboszlai upgrade? Because realistically, if they think he's going to be on fire, they could easily put the inform as an 88 as well, and then kind of keep the ball rolling from that. Realistically, as a centre mid goes though, more as your cam, I do think he's pretty good. He's going to be one of the more better cards that you can find that will cheap out quite a lot. And to be fair, we do have the comparisons this time round, and we'll kind of see if that's where his final position's going, because we do have Odegaard and we do have Bernardo Silva as well to kind of compare to. They're not, and this is the point, they're not really captains, are they? If CR7 and Bernardo's in this, it just makes no sense that we've got, I'm assuming it's meant to be like captain and vice captain or somebody else that can captain. We've obviously got Bernardo Silva, another very, very good player. Now, if I was to kind of go between like a Bernardo Silva and a Szoboszlai, Bernardo wins out every single time. And even Odegaard, I think another one that they've really misused. Another one that should have got an 88. I don't understand this upgrade where we don't give him a little bit more. Obviously, Incisive Plus is always nice, so I'm glad he's kept it. It's got a massive pace upgrade, which is absolutely huge. And another one that I'd potentially prefer over Szoboszlai to some extent. Now, do I think that Szoboszlai is useless? Absolutely not. I just think I would prefer the other two if it came to it. If I was to pick between the trio, I really like Bernardo Silva in the game. I think he works really well. He's got the balanced 4-star like Szoboszlai, and does well pretty much at everything. And his dribbling has always been exquisite. So if I was having to knock some down, I'd possibly go like that. I think maybe you could have argued that Szoboszlai could be potentially with them. But if I'm looking and being more realistic and not putting everybody in one list, I would look at him kind of just under them two, in my opinion. We then also have another card that's already had an upgrade, but he's finally got another upgrade on top. We've got Di Lorenzo again, one of my favourite right backs or fullbacks in general from the Serie A that works really well. We've obviously got 86 for him with the Jockey Plus. We didn't have a Playstyle Plus with his Cornerstone, so at least we've got a solid upgrade there. Upgrades on the overall, nothing too crazy, 2s and 1s across the board, but a very, very nice right back to throw in. Again, whether you dare kind of consider him as the A or S, I think as a fullback goes, we definitely need them. And in Serie A, he's arguably the best. I think him and Dumfries are kind of the only two that you'd really question. I know if we discount the hero, because Mycon's obviously there. Cuadrado, I suppose, is another one. We got Cambiaso's left back. Wesley, I must admit, throws himself in the hat. So we've only got a few anyway, but in general, I do think he is one of my more favoured ones until Dumfries eventually blows him out of the water. And another upgrade that I would say is kind of more your A upgrade now, potentially would have been nice with a Playstyle Plus, even if it was like a slide tackle or something. It'd have been nice to just get something different with them. But Otamendi is not a bad card. I think he kind of reminds me of that Davinson Sanchez. He's kind of a name that's come from previous like Premier League times, and he's still kind of there, still holding on quite well. Gurma, another one when we come into the Females League, obviously American for Chelsea. Another very nice card when it comes to a centre-back. Whether she really breaks through, 5'5" will always be a debate in my opinion. So I do think when we do look at her, she's going to be more in that A category as a very decent centre-back, but not quite your top end. I think that would kind of be like your Mapillion. I think she is excellent at her job. Obviously, we got another 10k card. I must have missed her. But then if we do talk about a bit of Mapillion, we do have her counterpart in Paredes as well. Another one that is coming in with an 88. Now, again, I understand what they're trying to do with this, but they just really need to upgrade these cards. Like an 89 is not going to break the bank. She got the Bruiser Plus like the last time, 10 pace upgrade. She obviously got a bit of an agility balance, which is clearly making the defenders kind of sing off the same hymn sheet a little bit more. And then we've obviously got a bit of physicality and a lot more passing. It does put her in a pretty good stead, but very much like Germa at the moment, I'm kind of disregarding her against some of the best centre-backs that we've got in the game. Heaps, Lindsay, obviously coming in as 180. Another cam that you can throw in. Very nice stats across the board. Very much like Szoboszlai in that aspect. And to be fair, kind of like Bernardo and Odegaard. Do I think... She's got the incisive as well with a 4-4. Maybe we could argue. I think we could argue. We'll go Szoboszlai, and I do think Heaps could throw herself in as a cam. There is a lot of people that could rock on with that, to be honest. And one of my more favoured female centre-backs in Leah Williamson. Very nice with the Anticipate Plus. Again, nice pace upgrade. We've already got a bit of agility balance, so clearly didn't need to go, obviously, with this. And most definitely got a solid amount of passing to make that all-round game work really, really well. So I do think she most definitely is coming in as the better centre-back out of the group. And then finally we have got Mr. Poland himself, Lewandowski, coming in with an 88, and yes, a 6 pace upgrade. We've got 1 on the passing, 1 on the dribbling, and 2 on the physicality. No shooting boost, which is a bit of a shame for him, to be honest. You're obviously going to have to go with a Hunter on him. It's going to make him into a 92, 93 if you round it up forward. And again, another solid card to say. I must admit, I would have preferred him with the low driven. I think that would have really put him next to Kane, in my opinion. So I am going to kind of just hold him off that big glow up. I think maybe in 1 more upgrade and he potentially gets there, but we will see how that does go. And that is going to be the list for today. A lot of cards to go through, a lot of fodder as well, so hopefully we at least do get to see the animation a bit more, but it is kind of just another crazy promo card to upgrade a lot of cards, which, to be honest, I'm all for. If you're building any of them teams, it is always well worth having a look at a lot of these players, but we do want to see some of the best in packs, so let me know if you've managed to get anybody. Leave a comment down below. I'll catch you all for that next one. Peace!